We're going to look at how we can do adding and subtracting with complex numbers. Adding and subtracting with your complex numbers is much like adding and subtracting with polynomials or adding and subtracting with your radicals. What you're doing is you're combining like terms. Okay? Your like terms, in this case, is the real part with the real part and the imaginary part with the imaginary part. So remember that we write our complex numbers as a plus bi, where a is the real part and then the bi is the imaginary part. So what we're essentially doing is we're treating the I like a variable. Or as we did with radicals, we're treating the I like a radical, which technically it is a radical because it's the square root of -1. Okay? So if we look at this first problem, I do not actually have to have these parentheses. These parentheses are extra pieces of information. I can have them there, but they're not necessary. So when I'm adding, we want to combine like terms. So I'm doing numbers with numbers, or the real part of the number with the real part of the number, and then the imaginary part with the imaginary part. We're just adding these. So I'm going to do the 3 plus the 2, and then plus the 5i minus the 4i. That's how I'm thinking of it. So the 3 plus the 2 is 5, and then the 5i minus the 4i is just I. So then we get 5 plus I, where 5 is the real part and I is the imaginary part. Okay? So if we look at the next one, same kind of thing. Okay? Now there's not a ton of work that you need to show. You can kind of show this step if you would like to. You don't have to show that step, it's not necessary. The 1 and the 7 are like terms, and then the 9i and the -2i are like terms. So the 1 plus the 7 gives us 8. Oops. Highlighter, and then the 9i minus 2i gives us 7i, so plus 7i, and then that's our answer. If we look at the next one, I'm going to have you try that one, so pause the video, try that, and let's see what you get. Okay, so you should have paused the video and have this one done. So when you look at your like terms, you've got the -2 and the 1, which gives you -1. And then you've got the 5i and the -7i that are like terms, which gives you the -2i. So you should have got -1 minus 2i. Okay. Now, subtracting is very much the same as our subtracting with everything else that we do, is that you have to... Sorry, I'm just not even going to worry about re-recording. You have to distribute that negative. Okay? So we're going to distribute this negative here, just like we do with all the rest of our subtracting. You have to distribute that negative to the whole thing. Okay? The most common error is that they only distribute to the first term. You have to distribute it to both of them. So here, we're going to take the 21 and the -9, and we're going to do 21 minus 9, which gives us the 12. And then we're going to do the 4i minus the 8i, which gives us -4i. And that gives us our answer. So if we look at the next one, we're doing that same kind of thing where I have to distribute to this second set of parentheses. Okay? This first set of parentheses is unnecessary. They can be there, but they don't have to be there. The second set of parentheses is necessary because it's showing you that you're subtracting off that whole thing. So I'm going to subtract the 3 and add the 7i, and then we're going to combine our like terms. So 4 minus 3 gives us 1, and then we're going to do this -6i plus the 7i. So make sure after you distributed that when you go to combine your like terms that you use the one that you distributed to. So don't do -6 minus 7, right, because we want this one that we distributed to. So -6 plus 7 gives us 1i. So I'm just going to write I, right? And that gives us our answer. Okay? Try the next one, pause the video, and then let's see if you get it right. Okay, so you should have this last one down. We're going to distribute. So I get +1 minus 2i. Our like terms, the 3 is a like term with the 1. So we do 3 plus 1, which gives us 4. And then we have the 6i and the -2i. So 6 plus a -2i is 4i. And that gives us our final answer. And that's how you combine your complex numbers, just like we've done with radicals and with polynomials. You just combine your like terms. When you're subtracting, you make sure you distribute the negative to all parts of the parenthesis it's in front of.